Alright, today we'll be working with 5/8 solving rational equations. Let's start with the first problem. Rule number 1. You want to factor the denominator. Rule number 1, factor the denominator. Okay, so clearly here we can't factor the denominator. There's nothing we can factor. So let's move on to rule number 2. Rule number 2 is find the common denominator. Sorry, my handwriting's really bad. And so the objective is to get the common denominator and get the whole denominator to be equal for each fraction, and so we can cancel out the bottom. So what's common between all of this is 4x. And so to get 4x, what do you multiply 4 by? X, and then multiply 4 by x, and then you multiply 2 by 2x. So the third thing you want to do is multiply what's on bottom to the top. So whatever you do on the bottom, you have to do to the top side. So 4 times x was 4x, so since we multiplied by x, we're going to multiply x by 5. So we got 5x here. X was multiplied by 4, so we got to multiply 6 by 4. So we got 6 times 4 equals 24. And then 2 was multiplied by 2x, so we got to multiply the top by 2x. So 1 times 2x is just 2x. So here we have our numerators, and we multiply them, what we multiplied from the bottom denominator. So now we have the denominators all the same, so we can cancel that out. And so now the equation is 5x minus 24 equals 2x. So over here I'm gonna make a text box over the rules. So rule number 1, we want to factor the denominator. Rule number 2, you want to find the common denominator. In this case it was 4x. And rule number 3, you want to multiply by what's missing. And you want to multiply that by the top. Whatever you did to the bottom, you want to multiply it by the top. Rule number 4, cancel out the denominator. And rule number 5, obviously, is solve. So now that we have the equation set up, we can go ahead and solve it. So 5x minus 24 equals 2x. So we can subtract 5x from this side. And that'll give us 2x minus 5x, will give us negative 3x. So negative 24 equals negative 3x. Also, you want to divide this side by negative 3. And negative 24 divided by negative 3 is 7. So x equals excuse me, not 7, 8. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Or negative 24 divided by negative 3 is 8. So that's your final answer, is 8. So now we can move on to number 3. We'll come back to number 2. Okay, so number 3, if I can move this down. Okay, there you go. So number 3, alright, so number 3, first step, factor the denominator. So we can't really do that right now. That's not able. Second step, find least common denominator. So I want the denominator to be the same on both sides. So what we want to do is multiply this side by x minus 2. Since we can't really find a least common denominator, we're just going to have to multiply one side by the opposite side. So we're going to have to multiply this by 2x plus 1. And so whatever you do to the top, or whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So we're going to multiply what's missing. Okay, so 6 x minus 2, and then 2 times 2x plus 1. So 6 times x is 6x, and 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. 2 times 2x is 4x, and 2 times 1 is just 1, or 2, sorry. Alright, so now that we have the denominator the same, we can go ahead and cancel those out. So that'd be the 4th step. 5th step is obviously solve the equation. And really, if you wanted to, you technically, since this equation is just 2 fractions equal to each other, you really could have just cross multiplied these two and set them equal to each other. But I mean, you don't have to do that. So we have 6x minus 12 equals 4x plus 2. So we can go ahead and try to get the x's to one side. So if I can subtract 6x from this side. 4 minus 6x give us negative 2x plus 2. It's hard to draw with the mouse. And then we'll have negative 12 equals negative 2x plus 2. So we want to subtract 2 to get to the other side. And negative 12 minus 2 will be negative 14. So negative 14 equals negative 2x. And so obviously you divide that by negative 2. And negative 14 divided by negative 2 would give you positive 7, so x equals 7. Oh yeah, and the exclusions, I forgot to do that in the first problem. You want to set the fractions at the bottom, like this one, that have x's in it, equal to 0. And so you want to do just 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. And then you subtract 1, negative 1, 2x equals negative 1. So the answer would be negative 2. So that would be your exclusion for this side. Clear some room. Alright, no, wait. Just negative 2 and x minus 2 set equal to 0. Would be negative 2 as well. So there you have it. Negative 2 and negative 2. Alright, let's get back to number 2 real quick. So we're solving for x. So first we want to find we want to factor the denominator, but we can't. So we want to step 2, find the common denominator. So common denominator between these would just be 6, because 3 times 2 is 6, and we can just multiply x by 6 and 3 by 2x and 6 times x. So you can just multiply this by 6 and this by x and this by 2x. So step 3, you want to multiply by what's missing. So whatever you do to the bottom, you got to the top. So 6x. So we multiplied 6 by x. So you multiplied 6 times 6 would be 36 on top. And in the second fraction, multiplied 6 by just x. So we want to do just 5x. And then in this last fraction, we multiplied by 2x. So we want to move that to the top and multiply 2x. Okay, so I set it up and the denominators are equal. So okay, so now that we have the denominator set and everything, we can go ahead and solve. 36 minus 5x equals 4x. So add 5x. So the answer is x equals 4.